Welcome everybody to Pema TV.
Welcome to Friday, January 24th, 2014.
Almost a whole month gone in 2014 already.
Yeah.
Going by fast.
Yeah. Okay, real quick, everybody, let me get this business out of the way. If you have any fashion or metaphysical or herb needs,
Herb.
Not
herb. I don't sell herb.
You don't sell herb? You sell herb?
Herbs.
Herbs. Okay. She also is, and like you can see in the graphic,
Herbal Solutions. Right now we have all kinds of herbal remedies, salves, teas, and essential oils for everything from toe fungus to pneumonia.
Yeah, you name it, it's there, and it all have really good customer feedback too.
There's been all kinds of really great feedback on it. Toothache tea. I can swear by that one.
And the last little bit of business, and you can find that at MetalunaBoutiquesandStones.com, or come by the shop in Gladewater. If you need an address, just contact us and we'll send it to you. Last little bit of business, you will be able to find Kim and myself in Jefferson, Texas, for History, Haunts, and Legends in April. We want to start talking that up. If you are in the East Texas area, or even if you're not, travel down, come see us.
Along with Stephen LaChance.
I want to go.
Stephen LaChance, Dakota Lawrence,
Dr. Rita Louise, Mitchell Whittingham,
Larry Flaxman, Martha Hazard Decker,
Larry Flaxman, Selena Roan, from also a host here on PEN. She'll be there too.
And Kathy Nance.
Yep. So come find us, come see us.
But before we bring on Tracy, I would like to send my prayers out to the family of Mr. Joe Ciappi.
Most definitely.
He's the creator of the Joe's Box, and he passed away a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But he's in the arms of his daughter, who he missed so terribly, and why he actually created the box, and his dog Snoopy.
Yeah. Joe was he was a diamond in the rough. He was a gentleman among thieves. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
And we only got to talk to him we've talked to him over the years 100 times, but
he was also one of our very first guests when we started the show almost 5 years ago.
That's true. So, may he rest in peace.
Absolutely. Joe, we don't want to investigate you. But
Joe will leave a message.
Joe
will leave a message.
Yeah, you do know how to use the boxes, so, you can send a message at any given time.
Pennsylvania type area, and you get any kind of EVP that says anything like a frequency number, tune to that frequency or whatever. Get your equipment on that frequency, because he'll be telling you the right frequency. He's one of the first engineers to pass on.
And he was from Doylestown.
Yeah, and if he was one of the first engineers that we've known that's passed on, so when we start getting information on the other side, it won't be it's dark here, it's light here. It'll be tuned to this many megahertz frequency or whatever. That's the kind of stuff Joe will talk about.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that, folks.
But anyway. Tonight we have a lovely guest.
Yes, I have decided to take on 2 redheads tonight instead of just the one. So I've stepped up to the plate, and our guest tonight is Miss Tracy Ray Ramsey. And let me be the first to hop up there and congratulate her and Keith on your nuptials.
Thank you.
And basically, how you been?
I've been great. I've been really good. Yep, taking it easy the last 4 months, but you know how the paranormal is. Usually it starts to get going again in March. March to October, it's like we're busy.
Right.
But, the break's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen you since Shreveport last year, which was May.
Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
I guess it has. Yeah.
Because remember, we had the hotel room that was the party room that night.
Yeah, I know. I drove all the way from, I can't remember where I drove from. Oh, from New Jersey. I drove all the way down and stopped in Shreveport. Yeah, I do remember it, because I had to stop in Arkansas to get more rocks.
Right, because it was us and Dakota and Jeremy and Pam.
Martha,
yeah.
Yeah, the only person who wasn't there was Shelly.
Yeah,
I think Shelly was the only one that missed out.
And I'll throw this out there. I still ain't covering that bar tab.
You don't have to. Dakota.
I didn't drink. I was good.
Yeah.
Well, we, the ones who were staying there, us, Jeremy, and Dakota all got bottles of wine, and Dakota drank everybody's but his and ran out with his bottle. So he's.
Yeah, I think I asked for something to drink, and somebody handed me something, and I'm like, oh no, I can't drink that.
Yeah, they were passing around the Grey Goose that night.
No, the Ghost Vodka.
Mm.
No, it's something. I don't know what kind of beer it was, but I think it was like some type of beer, and I was like, what the heck is this?
But say no more, say no more, say no more. You know, what happens in Shreveport stays in Shreveport. You know. And I wanted to, you had mentioned you were talking about stopping at the crystal mines, and I got this crystal skull there we actually figured out that me and you have actually gone to the same mine.
Yeah.
Well,
I told y'all to go to.
Yeah.
Did y'all go to the Jim Coleman mine?
Yes, ma'am. If you can see it.
Yeah.
That's what
I love that place.
Yeah,
I love going there. Do
one-
y'all dig for your own crystals too?
Yeah. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
But
I need to go back actually because I'm like running low on all my inventory.
But I know that place is. I mean, it's like $10 a person to get in to go dig, and it's all.
Yeah.
And what's cool is we found this out too. You know when you go in there's a main road where you park, and then you take your shovels or whatever, and you go climb up on the hill and you start digging, or wherever you want to go, you start digging. Well,
Yeah.
Did you know those great big rocks that always tend to end up around the road? Did you know they'll let you carry every one of those off if you can pick it up and put it in truck and put it in your truck, you can take it away. Yeah.
We have 2 or 3 in the front yard
there's
right now.
two in the front yard, and they're solid.
Oh my God! Really, I didn't know that. I really did not know that.
Yeah, but I mean, hey,
I would have already.
for $10,
to take some
hey,
with me.
you'll pay $150 or $200 at a landscape place to go buy a rock that size, and you're paying $10.
Did y'all go into like the museum part that they have back there in the back?
No. We didn't go in the museum in the back, but I know when you walk, anybody that has anything to do with crystals knows that there's a certain energy around every crystal.
Yes.
So imagine walking into a room about, what is that shack, about 25 by 25 maybe? It's not very big, but it's medium sized. Not counting the porch.
25 by 25, but there's another area. Like there's the store, and then you can go outside. There's like a little area that's fenced in, and then there's another area that's about 25 by 25, and that's where their wholesale stuff is. Like if you have a wholesale number, they have quartz in there, I swear, like this big.
Well,
they're huge.
I think.
And so clear.
Has it been a while since you've been there?
It's probably been over a year and a half. It's been about a year and a half since I've gone.
We were there 4 or 5 months ago, and the only thing along that road right there is you pull in past the shack. You pull up to the shack, you pay, you pull up and park, and there's like a little bathroom. Past that fence, I think they'd either closed back what was back there, or made it just for camping, because all their wholesale stuff is now up by the shed.
Really?
Yeah, they have. They're like the other big rock shops down in that area. They have rows of, like you said, of like seed crystal starters and stuff that are huge, that are just crystal clear. But I mean, like I was saying, when you walk in that room and it's nothing but just clear quartz crystal.
Yeah.
I mean, the energy in the place is amazing. It's just amazing to go there. If you're really happy, you're going to be even happier when you leave. If you're mad when you get there, you're going to be even madder when you leave. It amplifies what you bring.
No, I love that place. Every time I go, I find stuff that I want, and I love going there digging. It relaxes me, and I love to. You never know what you're going to find, for one, and then when you get home and you have to, you clean everything. It's like a Christmas present, It's like opening up a present. It's like, oh wow, look at this, It's beautiful. But I have found some amazing things there. Amazing.
Well, the crystals have amped up the spirits in my shop tremendously.
I bet.
If anybody goes, if you go on MetalunaBoutiqueandStones.com, there is an entire section of just the quartz crystals that we've got for sale in the shop, and one of them, I think it's $120, but it's like a football.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good price.
It's
really good
it's
price.
like what, 8-9 inches wide, and
8 and 9 by almost a foot tall.
yeah.
It probably weighs a good 30
See,
pounds.
that is really a good price. All the big ones that I had, I took to Parafest, and I sold almost all of mine at Parafest.
Well, and I can. The one thing that I've bought from up there, other than all the crystal stuff jewelry that I've made recently, and maybe I can do this.
Oh, the only crystals I wear are the ones Tracy Ray and Patty Zackus gave me.
Aw. Well, you deserve them.
Well, and like this is what I got from up there, and it's a hand carved crystal skull for $6.
Well, I can't see it, so.
Yeah, I'll show you. For $6, the prices they have on their stuff is.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
awesome.
I have one. It's about, I don't know. It's probably it's probably about that big, round as a golf ball. I don't have a big one. I've always wanted a large one. I just hadn't came across one that talks to me. You have to feel them out, and if if they don't feel right, then you don't get them.
Right.
At least that's how I am. The stones have got to talk to me to say, "Hey, buy me," and it has to feel good for me to buy it.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, a lot of people like to have the clusters, stuff that's like similar like this. Well, obviously you can't see it, but it's a little triangle piece with probably 25 or 30 little real small points on top.
Oh, yeah, I love those too.
A lot of people,
I got a lot of those, actually.
This stuff like this, they're selling baskets of this stuff now up there too. If you hadn't been there in a while, they're selling baskets of this stuff up there.
Yeah, in the beginning I was buying the baskets that they were digging up, and then you'd have to take them home and clean them and soak them in acid and everything, which I love doing that too, because still you don't know what you're getting anyway, but They dig it. It's just more expensive. You pay $35 to $75 a basket depending what basket you get. But it's a great place to go.
Oh yeah,
great place to go.
I haven't been there, but if after
you haven't been,
no, Eric and Lori went.
Kidding. Eric went and you didn't. You're kidding me.
No.
Eric, what's your problem?
I'd been only one digging if she'd have gone anyway.
Well, yeah.
I'd have had one more manager.
You've got to go.
Well, I had only been open 2 months, and I didn't want to.
You have Eric work the store, and you go to Arkansas and do your thing.
Tell you what, Tracy. I'll
come with you.
There you go.
Wow.
But no, it's insane. Since those crystals have been in there, you'll be sitting in the reading room. I have one room set up just for like readings and classes, what have you. You'll be sitting there and you'll hear cars pull up. You'll hear the brakes. You'll hear the doors slam. You're looking out the window. There's nobody in the parking lot. The door to the storeroom opens and shuts. Usually when non-believers are in there, because it really freaks them out. One actually left and hasn't come back. But there's all kinds of craziness. Around Christmas time, there were voices and all kinds of stuff going on in there, all because of these crystals they brought in.
Well, that happens, Of course, they could have followed Eric from somewhere too. You never know.
Well, and poor Mary, she came down, and she was running around during the morning, and she came by before her flight, and she no sooner sat down and was out cold. She kept having to wake herself up, and she's like, "This is crazy." She walks outside, and she's wide awake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, us. We kind of attract that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
that's how it goes.
I know you've been living the newlywed life, but how have you been? What are you up to? What's on the radar for Tracy Ray Ramsey?
Here lately, I'm just enjoying life right now. Enjoying, my husband, and we've been going places. Now he's been doing his thing, with Deep South Paranormal. So he's had events, and I've been attending, with him, just sitting off to the side, and I've enjoyed that, and everything. But, I've just been kind of keeping it on the DL, on the down low for a while. I needed to get some stuff straight and whenever I was at Parafest, I actually teamed up with Amy, and she has a website, and I'll have to tell you about her later because I want to talk to you about her anyway. And we did a workshop on psychic mediums and, you know, how to adapt to our abilities, and we asked, you know, a lot of people had a lot of questions, so we did a lot of Q&As, and it turned out wonderful. I mean, the workshop was great. We had a ton of people in there, and it was only supposed to be an hour long, and it ended up being an hour and a half, and we were like the last lecture in the event, and they were closing it all down. Well, finally somebody's like, y'all gotta go. We've done shut it down. All the tables had went away. Everything was gone, and we had no idea because we're in this room with all these people. Well, after our lecture, the people wouldn't let us go. They were like, we don't want you to quit talking, you know. And, you know, and we had like 20 people come up to us and just wanted to talk and talk and talk. And we ended up having to take it outside to do so. But that's one of the things that me and Amy want to start doing is, you know, hitting the conventions and doing workshops and helping people that, you know, have questions about abilities that and you know, they want to know how to make them stronger, you know, and stuff like that. And I think it's going to be a good thing. Well, actually, I was just talking to her today about it. So, and we're probably fixing to have our own little radio show too. So that's another thing we're going to start
if you
doing.
happen to wanted to do a video show, just saying. That's a great show on Monday nights too. Just saying. But anyway.
Well, you never know. You never know. We might do that. But we've been talking about. There's a lot of stuff. Me and Amy are so much alike. She has a website on Facebook. It's a Loving Light Insight. And she's a great girl. We're a lot alike when it comes to reading and seeing things, hearing things. But yeah, she's a great girl.
And just so people know, I've seen this woman in action, and she's impressive. And what's cool is not afraid. Well, and I know that sounded dirty, but she's also not afraid. She's also not afraid to get dirty, and that's
I'm a country girl.
And that's an admirable quality.
Yeah, I had somebody we were at the store I was going to open, the snow cone stand I was going to open. The health department guy was there, and he saw me walk in, and I had my Louis Vuitton, and I had on heels, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I closed down, you know, the 4 months during deer season because I'm a deer hunter. And he looked at me awful funny. He goes, what? You're a deer hunter and you walk in here with the Louis Vuitton and heels? I'm thinking, well, yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to hunt.
I like fashion too, so what?
But you know,
and she's not afraid of snakes. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you know, and that's
you know, I used to be. I used to be until Parafest, and then I kind of got that out of my system.
But maybe let our viewers know, Tracy. I mean, you're a psychic medium.
Empath.
You got the all the clairs. You know,
pretty much. My audible isn't as clear. Sometimes it really depends, the audible, depending if it's a child, because sometimes different, like 5 and 9 will sound alike to me, and certain numbers will sound alike, and certain things that they say sound alike, so it's kind of hard to decipher what I'm hearing. But as far as seeing clear and smell, yeah, definitely.
You know, and that's something not a lot of people get, the smell part.
I do, and it kind of annoys me sometimes.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're talking to dead people, you kind of got to take what they give you. But I mean, what's funny is people may giggle and say, "Oh, well, she can hear, you know, smell dead things." Well,
no, it's not dead things always. It's not always dead things.
My point was, being able to describe a smell like that can narrow down who you're talking to that quick.
Right.
Or narrow down a situation or a feeling or whatever, you know, because nobody remembers what happened to them in kindergarten, but everybody remembers what their kindergarten lunchroom smelled like.
Exactly. Yes, you're so right. Yeah, because certain smells that I get, especially if it's gardenia or lavender, or cigars, a lot of the strong smells, those are the ones that are just, it's like, you really, you have to, be that strong. But, yeah, sometimes it's stronger than others. Other times.
White Owl cigar means my grandpa farmer's around. My grandma's basement means my grandma's checking in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's her basement. It's the weirdest thing. I guess because we used to go down there and play when it was raining. My grandma, when I'd spend the weekends with her, she and I'd go down the basement and play games and stuff. So I just smell her basement.
Yeah, that's, it's weird how we, can remember smells more than memories.
Mm-hmm.
But the smell can actually trigger that memory.
Right.
That's right.
So,
but when you're driving down the highway with the windows open and all of a sudden you smell grandma's basement, all right.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're here.
Yeah. But, it's good that people know that can happen. So many people dismiss their intuition and they dismiss what happens around them like that when they shouldn't.
Right. A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people have the ability. They just don't understand it, or they think, it might trigger something, and they might not think, well, hey, do I really have an ability to be able to do this? But some people do, and they just don't realize it.
And if people, I know the link that I'm putting up there is to your LinkedIn business account. So if people want to contact you, you do readings and stuff still, right?
I do readings. I like to do them privately. I'm not one where I like to do galleries. I have done a few galleries before. I've done one with Scotty Rourke. But I like, if I did a gallery, I'd want to do it with someone, and I would want it small enough to where everybody would get read. I just don't think it's fair to have a big gallery and have everybody pay for something that they're not going to get nothing out of. And that annoys me.
Although she did do her first gallery reading at the convention.
Lower Catskills Paracon.
Yes, I did, and then there was a few people there, and then we ended up talking about other things that whole time. But because David was there, and get him there, it's hard to shut him up at times.
I wouldn't argue that.
Yeah, but it was a great crowd of people, regardless of what was going on.
No, it was a great event. I meant just the people that were in there
right.
just for that time. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it turned out good. And
plus, me and you got to play with a balloon.
I so enjoyed that time. I really loved the Shanley. It was a great place for me, yeah. And I don't know. It just holds dear to my heart, and I don't know if it was the little boy, because when we first drove there,
Jonathan,
he would not let me out of my car, and of course you know how I work. I have my iPad, and I was writing down everything I was getting, and this little boy would not let me out. He's like, "Don't get out of the car." I'm like, "Okay," so I'm sitting there, and David's of course getting everything out of the car. And he's like, "Are you getting out?" I'm like, "I can't." I said, "The little boy won't let me." So the little boy told me, his name was Jonathan, and that, and then finally he goes, "Okay, you can get out." Well, I got out, and then he let me know that he got ran over, and that's how he died. And that's what I put on my iPad, before I even went into the Shanley, and before I even talked to anyone.
Right.
And then come to find out, it was the truth. It was how he died, that he did get ran over. And to actually communicate with him in the room there. Oh, and another thing, before I got out of the car, he told me room 13. Yeah. And I had no idea if there was a room 13 or not. I'd never been in there before. And I'm thinking, well, God, I hope there is a room 13, because I told David, I said, we've got to put the equipment in room 1 in 13, because that's where the activity is going to be. And so we go inside, and I'm getting all this other information, so I'm writing it down on my laptop, and I skipped the second floor. It's like I didn't even want to go on the second floor. I went straight to the third floor, and you come out, and you look down the hallway, and I'll be darned, there's room 13. at the very end, it has 13, and I don't know if that's really the room, and they just put the door, room 13, but it had number 13 on the door.
No, they pretty much kept the doors with the rooms. But
They did.
But every psychic who was up there, you, Robin Marie, Patty, D-Dub, every last one of you said, who's the little boy who's sitting here? This little boy, that's the first person that every one of you saw when you got there.
Yeah.
Jonathan
he was the
making
first
his
person
rounds.
I seen, heard, and everything. But yeah, he's very strong there, and he's not gonna leave.
And
he's
he's
not gonna leave.
not shy either.
Well,
No. I love communicating with him, and with the thing that I did with the balloon, I mean, that was just amazing to me.
And,
you know,
and let me catch our viewers up real quick. Tracy and I were part of an experiment that night, and the equipment that was there, basically, not only did you know that an EMF event had occurred, you knew where. So we were getting, from the voice from beyond, we were getting, okay, Eric, it's above your right-hand shoulder. Well, Tracy and I are both sitting on the floor in this room, and I could reach my hand behind me, and not to get all woo-woo, but I was like touching the other side, and Tracy would grab my other hand and then point at a balloon, and when she pointed at the balloon would start rocking, and we're not talking fast hand movements here, folks. There's no air, there's no air current, and that balloon would just start rocking back and forth. And then when she pulled her hand away and stopped pointing at it, it stopped. So we were conducting. I would
tell it to go to the left. I'd answer. I mean, I'd ask a question, and I'd say, move it to the left or move it to the right, and it would move. It would do exactly what I asked it to do.
So yeah, there was definitely a lot of energy in that room, and that was just a cool. Like I said, that whole weekend was just cool.
There was a lot of energy in that whole building all weekend.
A lot of positive energy. And I think that
needs. Do you know? I had the best night's sleep in there. I swear to God, those 2 nights I slept so good. And I don't know why, but I did.
And Tracy was in the bordello.
I was in the bordello. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good. I think a good time was had by everybody, and I think there was even Patty mentioned that she slept.
Yeah, Patty was in the sunroom with the sun beating down on her, and I had to go in and wake her up.
Yeah.
Going, hello, conference starts in like 30 minutes. You might want to get up now.
Yeah, I didn't want to get up either. I did not. But no, the place is awesome and had a lot of experiences, a lot of voices, a lot of tugging, a lot of stuff around my leg area, you know, because kids attach onto me anyway. But it's a great place to investigate. Great place.
They attach onto you too.
Yeah, they tend to gravitate to me too. But you and I, kind of the last day, the day when everybody was trying to leave, when we were up in the...
Wasn't that crazy? Like something was not wanting us to leave at all.
Nobody. It wouldn't let anybody leave.
They wouldn't let anybody leave. Everybody had problems. Every single person.
But
which I thought was ironic.
When we were up in that front bedroom by the creepy bathroom, you and I were the two that heard the growl.
Well, you know, and that's the time whenever I said about the woman who had was pregnant and self-aborted the child.
Right.
And that's where the moaning came in because they did that back then.
But I mean,
you know,
it still strikes me odd that you and I both heard the growl because there were 4 of us in the room.
I have that on video too.
There were 4 of us in the room. Only 2 of us heard it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing menacing up there to make a growl.
No.
There's not even a dog there.
No, the cat.
No,
everybody.
wasn't no dog up there.
No. But we both heard the growl, but I mean, it's not like, you know, Tracy knows as well as we do, half the people, a large group of the paranormal will go, oh my God, it's demonic. I heard a growl.
Yeah.
Oh, I never say that. You know, that's one of the things people always ask me. Have you ever you ever been around evil, demonic things? I've been around things that's been uncomfortable, but I will not say it's evil or demonic. You know, it might be an angry old man trying to figure out something or pissed off because we're in his room, but I've never felt, you know, that, I don't know, that you know when it's demonic or not. Not.
Yeah.
You know that feeling.
But what I'm saying is that growl, it wasn't angry or demonic. It was just a weird growl that only two of us heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Could it have been a cat growling, or was it
No.
dog? Definitely a dog.
We don't even know that it was.
It wasn't a dog. I
Uh-uh.
have it on tape. I do. I have it on tape. I have it on my recorder.
So
I
you're
wish I
talking
could
like-
pull it up,
so
but
you're
my
talking like an old
computer
man,
with it.
like an old man, kind of kind of growl.
No, it was more like "Rrr,
Yeah.
rrr,"
Because
like
we
that.
both went, "Did you hear that?" And the other two in the room went, "No." And I looked at Tracy, and she looked at me. She's like, "A growl, right?" I'm like, "Uh-huh."
Okay.
It came out of the creepy bathroom.
Kind of like the noises Grandpa used to make when Grandma made him do something for the third or fourth time.
Probably.
Yeah,
okay.
probably. Yeah. When they didn't want to. Yeah, that pretty much sounds like that.
Okay.
But it was mine and Tracy's. We had a moment.
You bonded on the growl.
That's right. Sort of like Robin, Marie, and I in the weird camera thing downstairs.
Yeah, that was definitely strange. Are you you are doing the Weird Fest in Texas?
I am. I'm going to be doing the Word Fest. I just got on the lineup. Yes, I will be speaking there, and I'll have a booth up also. So, yep, we will be doing that.
And that's in just so everybody knows, that's in Glen Rose, and I think there's an event page on Facebook for it.
It is. I think it's like Facebook WeirdTextFest.com, something like that.
Something.
You can get on there. I want to say it's March the 22nd.
Yes.
Is the dates.
I think it is 22nd or 23rd. Yeah, it's that Saturday.
Something like that. Yeah. I won't be able to go probably Friday, but I'll be there late Friday, and I'll sure be there Saturday. But yeah, I'll be doing that. So,
and
that's really the only event I have right at this moment.
But that's a good thing, because you like you said, you needed time to recharge too, because you were running and gunning last year, weren't you?
Oh my God, last year was so hectic. I mean, I was everywhere. I did so much last year, it wasn't even funny. And it was hard for me to even keep up. I mean, from running my business to trying to work for the doctor I worked for and doing all this, it got really hectic for me.
Well,
and
you were also trying to sell your house and dealing with the snow
and
cone stand. And
you know what's so funny is, my house was up for sale, and the same people were trying to buy it. So they tried for a year, and it kept going back and forth. They were going FHA and this and that. But anyway, I got asked to do Mid-South on July the 20th. And I said, yeah, sure, I can do it. Well, my house sold on the 25th, and I had to be out by the 28th. They gave me 3 days to move out of my house. And I'm thinking, holy crap, Mid-South is like that weekend
right
after I'm supposed to be out. So I'm thinking, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not, But something told me, you've got to go to Mid-South. And plus I was going to be on the panel. I was going to speak, and I was supposed to be on the panel. So I'm like, man, I've got to get everything done. I hardly had no help, so I had to hire movers. Got everything moved, so I was tired when I got there. But that event is the event where I met Keith, which is a crazy story too. Because we met, I'd never seen Deep South Paranormal before. I had no idea who these guys were, and I'd just done a gallery reading with Scotty Rourke and Debbie. I can't remember her last name, but we all did a gallery reading together. And so I was over there talking to Scotty, and then Benny and Jonathan introduced themselves. They're like, let me introduce you to Keith. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, they brought me over there, and they're like, well, this is Keith. And neither one of us said anything to one another. We just had like that eye stare, that eye contact. And I'm thinking, oh, Lord, here we go. I looked into his eyes, and I opened the door, and I'm like, oh, crap, here we go. I was like, just don't touch me. Whatever you do, don't touch me.
If you touch her knees are buckling, she's hitting the ground, they'll be picking her up.
I did not say hi, bye. I looked at him, I saw the door open, and I turned and walked off. And that's exactly what I did. And it's like, this guy's going to think I am nuts, But that whole weekend, and then we had the panel. So, and then he wasn't even supposed to be on the panel. And then Keith Age asked him to be on the panel, and that's when he spoke for the first time about his outer body experience and stuff. And it was a great event. I so enjoyed it. I'm so glad that I went, and I think I was supposed to be there for a reason, and now I know what that reason is. So,
Well, Amy's in the chat room now.
Amy is. Oh, hey, girl. We need to do a show with Amy. Me and her and y'all, we all need to do a show together.
We can make that happen. I have to ask you this question though, Tracy. Is it the beard?
No, it's not the beard. And you know what? No, it's not the beard at all. It's the eyes. It is the eyes. I saw nothing except the eyes. I didn't even know if he had teeth. I didn't know anything at all. I didn't even see anything but his eyes.
See, guys don't get that. They really don't. Because
No.
I told Eric the same thing. It was the eyes.
Yeah, it's the eyes. Eyes never change. You know, we have a great story to tell, and I can't wait to start telling it to people. You know, when it's time, and we'll definitely tell the story.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff. We have the same visions. We have a lot of things that we have visioned that's been, you know, the same, and you know they have just kind of connected, and we all know what it means. Both of us know what it means. So, you know, we'll be able to tell people soon.
Good. No, I had to poke you with a stick and ask. I had to know.
I love the beard though. No, but I'll tell you what. If you ever do an interview with Keith, he'll tell you why he grew the beard. He has his reasons why he grew that beard. So
I grew mine to hide my double chin. I'm not afraid to say that.
He grows his to annoy me.
Keith's over there laughing.
But see, I'm like them guys on the credit card commercial. I could be part of that quick beard growing contest where they just and it crumbs it. Yeah, that's me.
Well, he don't have a double chin, but he has one of those little butt chin, cute little butt chins. I haven't seen it yet, but one day I will.
One morning he's going to wake up and he's going to have nair and everything's just going to fall off when he wipes it.
No. I love the beard, but I know one day he'll shave it. So,
I do.
I love him regardless. I don't care. As long as the eyes stay, I don't care because that's his soul and that's what I want.
That and the fact that he's standing on the other side of the computer with a slingshot, you know?
Tracy, I know a lot of people right now are dealing with, beginning gifts, burgeoning gifts. They're just kind of starting to acknowledge that there are things that go on around them. What would be the one suggestion you could give to somebody that's becoming enlightened with their gifts? What would be the one piece of advice you could give them to help them deal with what's going on around them?
You know, my main thing is for people that think that they have some sort of abilities is they need to start meditating and start focusing in on themselves and start listening to their guides, because their guides are there to help them. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, to be able to talk to your guides, you need to speak out loud because they don't hear you like when you pray to God and you pray in silence, you know, your guides don't hear that. You have to actually talk to them out loud, and a lot of people don't know that.
But what about people who can't meditate?
They need to try and learn to meditate, for one.
See?
And if they can't, then they just need to pay attention, you know, what's around them. They need to pay attention to their dreams, to their visions, to, you know, whenever they daydream about anything, or just things that they may hear or smell, and write it down. And writing it down is also the key, too, because you never know, you know, who it belongs to, when you might meet the person that you're actually having the vision about. You know, it's almost like a deja vu, but not really. Deja vu is a little bit different, but it's like if you have a vision of someone and you don't know the person, and then 5 days later you're going to see them. You know, it's things like, and if you hear the name in the vision, and if you have to pay attention to the little things. A lot of people don't pay attention to the little things. And that's also a very important key, you know.
I pay attention, dang it, I just can't meditate.
You can meditate. Yes,
No.
you can. Everybody can meditate.
No, I
Everybody
can't.
can do it.
No, I
You
can't.
just got to learn. You've got to just learn your niche of doing it. of how to do it, because everybody's different. Everybody don't meditate the same.
That's right.
I get my best thoughts in the shower. But I don't know if that would be considered
I
meditating.
prefer being in the woods,
Well,
but I know I can't be in the woods all the time. Around water, water definitely is the key to mine. If I'm around water, it's good. I can hear what I need to hear.
Right.
But if I'm not around water, then it's hard for me to meditate too. It's not easy for me either.
Well, like with me, some of the best meditative moments I ever had was when I had my Harley. and that sounds really outrageous, but when you start thinking about a steady drum beat, you're in the wind.
Maybe it's the wind for him.
Your mind just shuts off, and when it actually kicks back on, it's so much clearer. But that's why a lot of people ride motorcycles or do mountain bike ridings or hike.
True.
It's the same kind of rush. Mine's just takes more gas.
True.
Takes more gas
people
a little louder.
do a lot more thinking when they're driving. A lot of people do a lot of thinking when they're cleaning. It just depends. On what's good for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but I just want to let
when I'm mad and pissed, I clean.
Me too.
Write that down, Keith.
He already knows. Not from experience though. I've told him.
Yeah.
Me. I'm open about everything.
Well, that way when he comes home and the house is spick and span and spotless and everything's shining, he'll know to keep that head on a swivel.
See, I told you he was behind the
computer.
computer.
This is all.
Behind the camera, yeah.
This is all stuff written down in the Redhead Manual.
Yes, but what you don't know is we change it daily.
No, I know. It's a big notepad with a pencil. But...
No, we have a great relationship. It's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people didn't know that. We didn't tell a lot of people we got married. We got married on November 17th, 2013, and our numbers are 1s, 3s, and 7s. And mine's 11, 13, and so it was 11, 17, and 13. So we were at Gatlinburg.
Love
and he was doing an event, and I was up there with him, and he said, "You want to get married tomorrow?" I'm like, we had already talked about getting married, he had already asked me, and I said, "Tomorrow," and I said, "What's the date?" And he told me the date, and I said, "Yeah, let's do it." Because it's perfect. Awesome. It was just sounded perfect, and it just went so smoothly. So I got the marriage license, and so the next day we had to go to the courthouse, and the courthouse was 2 blocks from the hotel behind us. It was like, wow, this is crazy. And then we got married the next day.
I am upset because I was supposed to be the flower girl, though.
Well, hey, no, we're having a wedding. I've already got a dress. We're gonna have a reenactment wedding and everything. But those dates meant something to us, and that's the reason why we chose those dates.
No, I understand, but I still get to be the flower girl.
If you want to be a flower girl, that's great. I can use another flower girl.
I've never been a flower girl.
Y'all definitely be invited. Trust me, y'all definitely be invited.
Well, that's like me. Always a groom, never a bridesman.
A bridesman. I am to be a bridesman.
What do you know, flower girl?
Hey, I've never been a flower girl.
No, it's gonna be great. Yeah, I took my daughter to get a wedding dress, and we walked into the place, and I got my daughters, and when we walked in, me and Keith saw this one dress, and we kind of just looked at one another, and I'm like, oh crap, that's my dress, and it's a light gray, and it's by Vera Wang, and it's the only one she will ever make that's light gray, and it's going to go perfect with the uniforms and stuff. So I went ahead and bought it. I was like, I can't do nothing until my daughter gets hers because it's her moment,
Right.
So, we did her thing and everything. And then I was like, oh, I got to go try on that dress. And so I bought it too.
It was meant to be.
That's right.
And I really have no problem going to bridal conventions, and I'll tell you why. They got great cake.
I will have a great cake. And banana pudding.
We actually bought my wedding dress 5 years before the wedding because we accidentally ran into it, and it was the perfect fit at a bridal shower.
Yeah, well, you see, it's all how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to get the dress. I mean, I just had to. It was no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
Had
Well,
to get it.
we'd been tossing colors, and I'm like, no, it's got to be white and sapphire blue. And we walked in, and the main
There it was.
mannequin was white with sapphire blue.
Well, the point she's leaving out. This was at the Dallas Convention Center. This dressmaker had taken the entire booth end of the convention because they probably had 80 dresses out there. Okay.
Yeah.
This dress was their point dress. This dress was on the very front mannequin. Okay. And
That's what this one was. The very front mannequin.
They probably had 1,000 people walk up and say, "Well, can you take it off of this one?" "Oh no, I like this one over here." We walked up, asked her to take it off. She went into the dressing room, and when she walked out of the dressing room wearing that dress, there's like 12 women in their entourages up on boxes so they can see the train and all that. She walked out of the dressing room wearing that dress. It sounded like a walnut factory because of all the necks spinning around to look at her. And the designer saw who was in that dress and walked up to her and went, "Oh, well, no, that doesn't need to be adjusted. Oh, no, that doesn't need to be adjusted." The dress fit
perfectly.
And
that's how this one was.
And
everything was perfect.
Right, and because he couldn't do any alterations and couldn't find any way to alter it in any way, he actually sent me over to a different case and said, "Pick out a tiara, it's on me." And he signed the original copy. Mine's an Andre Agassi.
Yeah, he has
Wow.
he has a sign. We have the sign's original sketch for the dress.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you got lucky.
Yeah.
You got real lucky. I had never seen a light gray. Mine is almost white, but it's gray. It's like a light gray. It's beautiful. I can't wait to put it on it. Again, I'm ready.
Should be stuck.
when this is something else that a lot of people have asked in the past, and maybe you can help explain this. When you do multiple readings in a day, it's extremely draining, and a lot of people kind of don't understand how that can affect you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are starting to burgeon into their gifts, and they're starting to understand that there's days where they may not have seen anybody, but they just feel totally exhausted. Well, there's reasons why.
Right. Yeah, it can be very draining, and it doesn't matter if you do one or if you do 6 in a day. I've done one reading, and I'll tell you a story. I've done a reading on this one person 3 times. In the last reading, another person came through, and I read her for about 2 hours, and the next day I couldn't get out of bed. I could not get out of bed to save my life, and it wasn't that it was a bad reading, and it's not that it was a negative reading. It's that the energy that was coming through was not compatible with my energy, and it wiped my energy slap out. So I ended up having to drain my energy off, and that's where, David came up with the static wrist guards that you can put on and use on the electric outlets, to drain your energy. And that's what I did. But I used my finger because I didn't have the wristbands at the time, and it worked for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people don't realize that it is very, very draining. I even had someone that wanted a reading, and I was trying to explain to them that how sick we get, and they didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I brought it up. I think it's so important that people understand that when you start talking about being an empathic medium or a channeler or psychic medium, life coach, whatever label you want to put on it, there's an energy. It's energy work, and it can really, really, really drain somebody. So if you walk up to somebody and you ask for a reading and they say, "I really, really can't. I'm exhausted." They really are. They're not playing with you, because it's not an ability. It's not an ability that you can turn on or off.
Right, and something else that I started doing. When people want a reading right then, I usually tell them no. And I tell them that it's usually something that I have to prepare myself for, because I have put myself in a situation where I have been so sick, and I can't do that to my body anymore. So when people want a reading, I have to do it on the time that it's best for me. For one, I need to meditate. And you know me about stones. I got to have the right stones on me to be able to do that. and and people's just going to have to understand it, or they don't get read.
Yeah.
And another thing, if I feel a negative energy from them, I won't read them anyway. Either they have something that they don't want to hear yet, and so I won't read them, because it's a waste of my time and a waste of theirs. So, and until they're ready for me to let them know what they need to hear, I won't talk to them.
Yeah.
She just told me your nuts go away. See her. I'm kidding.
But,
I'm kidding.
I'm very strict with my readings. And you know me, I don't charge for my readings, and I have my rules. There's certain things that I don't talk about. I don't talk about divorce, and I will not read someone else while I'm reading the person that I'm reading.
Right.
And I won't talk about cheating and all of that. Or dying. Dying. I will not tell someone if they're going to die. Now, if those psychic and mediums that do that, it makes me angry, because there's ways of rewording things to let somebody know that maybe you need to get this checked, or you need to be aware of this or that, because you can't. I had a 21-year-old actually at Parafest where me and Amy talked. A lady came up to me and she's like, "Oh, you got to touch me. You have to touch my son." And I'm like, "No, I don't need to touch your son." Or like, "Well, another psychic said he was going to die at 21. And I got so mad. I'm like, "Are you serious?" Yeah. I'm like, who would, it makes me so mad that they would even say something like that. But anyway, I had to fix all of that.
And anytime anybody asks a question that concerns either their free will or the free will of another person, why does my boyfriend not love me no more? Yeah, we know so many people that's 85% of the questions that they get is that right there.
When will I find a man?
Yeah. But people need to understand that they need to have a specific question when they come to you. They need to know that they need to help you focus, and they'll get a better result. Just read me.
And that's what I'm more about. I'm not, you know me, I'm not one to really advertise readings.
Right.
I'm more into helping someone really adapt to either a death or, adapt to a new way of living. But as far as them trying to find a man or wondering if their man is cheating, that's definitely something that I don't even want to discuss.
Yeah.
And for one, if someone's going to ask me that, I'm going to get their feelings and their emotions anyway. It's not like, now you bring your boyfriend next to you and I'm reading both of you, then let's talk. But if they're not both there, then I won't discuss it.
Yeah. And that's the ethical thing to do. For everybody else watching, and everybody that watches, the millions that will watch in archives, that's an ethical way to be.
And there's an easy way to deal with the one, when will I find a man? When you stop going from psychic to psychic to psychic and go outside and meet him.
I have told people, months and years on when someone was going to come into their life. But, as far as, the cheating and the death and the divorce thing, no. For one, I don't want someone at my doorstep saying, "Oh, you're the psychic that said that I was cheating on my husband." No, I don't want none of that.
Well, what I'm talking about are the people, the psychic junkies who go from show to show, from shop to shop, from event to event, asking the same question. "Oh, when will I find a man?" Stop following us around. Go out.
Yeah.
Go out the door and meet a man first, and then we'll talk.
Well, they want it easy. A lot of people want the easy way in life, and life isn't easy.
No.
And, it's something you have to work at, and, the people come into your life for a reason, and you need to figure out that reason instead of, wondering why people ain't coming into your life. You need to worry about the ones that have come into your life.
Yeah, Amy's right. She says, as we say, you need to stop looking. Amen to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Amy think a lot alike.
Yeah, and don't try those internet relationships, because those damn things never work out, do they?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That just means we're the slowest learners in the world, because we've been struggling through it for 13 years now.
Oh.
Yeah, but
y'all are so much in love, it ain't even funny. Don't even go there.
But neither one of us were looking.
No, neither one of us was.
Well, no, that's when it hits you the most.
Yeah.
That's when it hits you, when you're not looking.
Yeah, we were busy off with other things. We just met up for dinner. That was it.
And drinks. And drinks. You can blame it
Dinner,
on
and
the
that's all
Baileys.
she wrote, huh?
Yeah, I think I
Kiss on the neck, and that's all it took.
I think he put something in my Baileys.
He probably did.
And that's some good roofies too, because they lasted for 13 years.
13-year roofies,
Yeah.
wow.
Hey, that's some good stuff there. That's high quality.
Yeah, but it took me 8 years to marry you, so.
Oh, that's true. There's not. I considered it an extended test drive.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love being around you guys. Y'all have great energy, so, I mean, I love it.
And like we mentioned earlier, folks can catch you here in Texas in April in Glen Rose at the Weird
No,
Texas
March. In March.
March.
For the Weird Texas Festival.
If they show up in April, you've missed her.
Yeah, you'd be a little bit late.
Yep, do that.
And that's all you've got planned for right now, but they can find you on Facebook and people can add you on
Yep,
Facebook,
I have
right?
2 Facebooks. It's Tracy Ray 00 and then Tracy Ray 01. And then I have that one website, which I need to update, which it's spinvestigation.org/Tracy_Ray.html.
269554738.
You got it, people. No, but I'm not, I'll be, doing other stuff. I just don't know when yet. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's really strange that we have more going on so far than she does.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, well,
always
I've kind of kept on the down low and not, I've been kind of, Keith's got a lot going on, so we don't want to be apart. So it's like I go wherever he's going, and so he's got more planned than I do right now. So because he'll be in Savannah in February, and he'll be in Canada and Michigan, and he's going all kind of places this year. So, I'm just kind of waiting it out.
Well, Keith, if you need a babysitter, I'm available. I'll watch her.
You gonna babysit me?
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Keith?
All right, then.
All right, then.
Oh,
He ain't gonna want to leave me.
He ain't met me yet either, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
As much as I hate to do this, we've run out of time again. We're gonna have to have you come back.
Well,
That's
she
fine.
is.
Anytime. Well, I'll be back, Monday for Kim's show.
Yep,
So-
you'll be back Monday on
Absolutely.
Just Saying, so people can tune in on Monday at 8
Yeah.
p.m. Eastern.
That's right.
That's it. We'll talk about some good stuff then.
Heck yeah.
Tracy, stick around. Don't go nowhere. But
Yeah,
thank you so
usually-
much. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
All right, thank you. Had a great time.
Always lovely to see you.
And everybody remember, Saturdays on PEN have changed. You can now catch not only this interview, but all our live shows from this week will be playing on the autopilot all day Saturday. So if you missed something this week, come back and check it out. Check out PEN 2 and check out PEN Radio. We've got almost 40 some odd shows over on the PEN Radio side. So check it out. If you want your paranormal entertainment, come here to get it.
Welcome to our insanity.
Ow, chicka wow wow.
Oh, yeah.
Ow!
And with that, ow. There's no ow in
No,
Bow
Tracy
Chicka Wow
knows what
Wow.
I'm talking
Ow,
about.
chicka wow wow. No, somebody else was putting owl in there right at one time. We know who it is.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Night.